Hey everybody, it's Wendy Robbins. I'm really glad that you're here with me. This is Bud Camp. Basically, I produce and direct the marijuana show seen by millions of people on Amazon Prime. It's like Shark Tank for the cannabis industry. Bud Camp is like Mentor Box for the cannabis industry. We get industry experts to just speak for a very short time on health or wealth. Those are the two subjects that we're interested in. And with no further ado, I want to introduce you to Amanda Siebert. She's with us. Hi, Amanda.
Hi there. Thanks so much for having me, Wendy. Super excited to be on.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get right to the questions. Number one, how does cannabis, both THC and CBD, improve sleep?
So cannabis and sleep have a long history. You know, there are Ayurvedic medicinal texts written as far back as the 11th century that say that cannabis could help to induce sleep. And it's really no secret amongst cannabis users. If you ask them, you know, a lot of them will say that improved sleep is a huge reason for their use. So when we look at cannabinoids in cannabis, specifically THC and CBD, both have applications as sleep aids. There's research that shows that THC can actually increase melatonin production in the brain, which is pretty incredible. And studies from as far back as the 1970s that show that cannabis consumption can decrease sleep latency, which is the time that it takes to fall asleep, by over an hour, and also reduce interruptions to sleep. So whether or not it's taking you longer to fall asleep, if you're being interrupted a lot, THC can help with both of those things. Now, you may have heard that CBD is better for being used during the day, but CBD has also proven to have value in the arena of sleep. The thing with CBD, though, is that its effects are biphasic. So you may have heard that it's good for use in the daytime, but what biphasic means is that in lower doses, it'll act as a stimulant, and in higher doses, it'll actually act as a sedative. And the reason that's interesting is it's helpful, too, when you combine CBD with THC, because what CBD does is actually potentiates those sedative effects of THC. So it's always good to consider cannabis products that offer a little bit of both when you're thinking about something for sleep. And again, so important to consider cannabis in the context of sleep, because so many people are using sleeping pills at an alarming rate, and cannabis, has it's much less harmful than sleeping pills when it comes to the side effects, and the safety margin of cannabis is higher in comparison. So yeah, lots for sleep there.
Yeah, I use CBD to sleep. Otherwise, I can't sleep all night. So I use it. I put on sort of a meditation DVD, essentially. It's actually streaming, and then boom, I'm gone all night long, and huge advantage. Okay, got it. So next is what types of products are ideal for dealing with stress and anxiety? A lot of us deal with that.
Totally. So those are huge issues today that plague so many people. And for a long time, it was actually believed that cannabis was a cause of anxiety, that it couldn't possibly provide relief for people because it made them anxious and brought along, things like that. But self-report studies have shown over and over that decreasing stress and anxiety is actually one of the most common reasons for use among cannabis users. If we look exactly at what different cannabinoids do in the body, both THC and CBD interact with the body in a way that can promote relaxation because they mimic these things in our body called endocannabinoids, and they work in these different systems in our body, or in the endocannabinoid system, to reduce stress and to sort of restore that homeostasis in the body. So these days, CBD is really in the spotlight when it comes to reducing anxiety, and for good reason. It has a lot of those same medicinal properties that you get with THC, but it doesn't come with that intoxication or euphoria, that feeling of high, or that feeling of being high that you would get if you consume a lot of THC. So while THC definitely has medicinal value, I'm not knocking it. People who suffer from higher levels of stress or anxiety might want to lean towards a product that is higher in CBD. That might mean a strain like Canatonic or Charlotte's Web, or if you prefer capsules or oils or edibles, variations like 2-to-1 or 4-to-1. In some places, you might even be able to find a 10-to-1 CBD product. So yeah, if you're prone to anxiety, I would definitely start off with products that are higher in CBD than THC.
I agree. And, when you go to the dispensary, that's where you're going to buy your cannabis. You'll talk to the bud tender, and, if it's got a name like Poison Durban or Durban Poison, or I never remember what it's called,